Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into the latest. What has happened? Tomorrow you're going to be getting the preview for Ipswich versus Chelsea. That's going to be, ironically, what shouldn't be a really big game has actually now become a big game because we need to pick up 3 points. It's as simple as that to bounce back from the 2-1 loss to Fulham. So make sure you catch the preview tomorrow. Make sure you're here, you're subscribed, notification bell on. Do not forget to check out all the socials as well. They are on screen and in the description. Channel ones, personal ones. And talking about personal, hit the first link in the description and you will be taken to my second channel, my other channel, where there is a brand new video. And in fact, I can link it right here. You can check it out right here if you want. Go and have a look. And enjoy. Another video dropping in a few days, I reckon. The next few days or so, brand new video on there. And then regular content is going to be dropping. So make sure you're subscribed because now you're going to be getting constant videos on there. Don't say I didn't tell you so. So, let's get into it. Latest at Chelsea. Well, we are looking forward to January because it's a transfer window, right? Clubs are going to go in and start buying players. That's normally what we do a lot. Well, are we? So, Justin, Chelsea are not that busy for January and are not desperate to bring players in. They're very happy with what they are doing. So it's a quiet one at the office. Now, should it be a quiet one at the office? Should it not be a quiet one at the office? And I'll tell you why I'm okay with not going and doing drastic business in January. Because it's January. And you know what? January transfer windows, I was going to say, if I'm having to make a prediction, I think that prediction is a bit too wild. I was going to say, I reckon we could get to a point where January transfer windows are just not going to happen anymore. But, there's still financials that are involved there. There's still ways that clubs are able to save their skin. I still think it will still exist. But one thing's for sure. We are not going to see big deals happen in January like we saw a few times in the past. I just don't think it's going to happen. The way that things are shaping up in football now, summer is where big moves can happen. And even that, I think, will start to get a little less frequent. January, you got no chance. January is about managing the squad for the rest of the season. So talking about managing the squad, we have players that we have been using, at least in some sort of a capacity. Sorry, indigestion kicked in there. Whoa. Capacity. Right? I didn't have any capacity there. And now they're possibly up for grabs. So this is where we got to talk about if there's players possibly leaving, are we going to not replace them? Well, let's get into it. Here's the latest from Fabrizio Romano. So Casadei, Carney, Chukwuemeka and Chilwell could leave in January, as well as more players. So it's important to understand what Chelsea will do if they do leave. This is the thing. What do Chelsea do? Now, I've heard one suggestion. For example, at left back, we're good. Or you'd think we're good. Chilwell's not been playing. He's just not been involved. So it's not even a debate. We just keep doing what we've been doing. Right? Carney Chukwuemeka, he's not been involved either. So we just keep doing what we're doing. Right? Casadei, he's been involved from time to time in Conference League games. But for people that actually reckon that the Conference League games from now on are going to be the same as they were, I don't think they will be. I think in the last 16, maybe in the quarterfinal, you can still rotate. I think from the semi-final onwards, you're going to be playing the main team. Because at that point, what have you got left? Just 2 extra games. Semi-final and a final. And we're looking to win it. Because why not? We're in it. We might as well win it. But last 16, quarterfinal, with the levels of teams that are still in the competition, I still think we'll be able to do a job. But then you start risking. For example, you play Fiorentina. Do you really think you can just play like your C team against Fiorentina and get a result? At that point, you'd be risking maybe a little too much. But if you start getting to the latter stage of the competition, you just start playing your main team. Why not? So, when it comes to those players, Casadei included, is he going to be much use going forward? Maybe not. So in that regard, there's not much concern, I don't think. But there is one player that right now we're uncertain about and we don't quite know, and that's Lavia. Now, Lavia we're hoping is going to be available soon, but he's been out for a little longer than expected. So now the debate has popped up about Andre Santos. Do we bring Santos back from Strasbourg? Back from his loan? Do we recall him? I'll be honest, I wouldn't recall him. I know a lot of you would say, yeah, recall him. He's been killing it at Strasbourg, and he has. Don't recall him. Keep him there. Keep letting him do what he's doing. Do not interrupt this development, because if we're talking development, he is developing. He is putting absolute clinics week in, week out for Strasbourg, killing it. Man of the match consistently. I mean, so much so now he's been given the armband from time to time if he's not been given it permanently. But I've seen him play with the armband. I'm like, hang on, is he captain? He's been killing it. Don't interrupt that, because I know what's going to happen. He'll come to Chelsea. He'll fill in for those couple of weeks that we actually need someone to come in, and then he'll be on the bench and we've got Enzo Caicedo and we won't see him. What use is he there? Keep letting him play, right? Keep letting him do his thing. Let him get even better. Get to the end of the season, then we can reassess, then we can bring into the squad, and then we can really talk about Lavia and his role. What is he saying? Is he fit or is he not? Because then we can be completely honest with ourselves. We don't know. Up until now, we don't know enough. So, Santos, for now, I would keep away. Keep doing your thing. Summer, recall him. Recall him, and he's in the squad. Because right now, he's clearly a baller. So bring him in. And then I think that's the reinforcements that you start to look at. We've got Esteval Willian that's coming in as well. So that's going to be an interesting one, especially considering Mudryk is more than likely going to be in big trouble. So, one in, one out there. Yeah, we'll see. But that's that. Let me know. One thing's for sure, though. With reinforcements in the summer, we got to take that seriously. If we're going to be playing Champions League football, if we're going to be competing for the title next season, if we're going to be, asking ourselves of all of these big aims that we used to operate in normally, we want to get ourselves back to that level, we need to reinforce in the summer. Unlike how you can't do it in January, you go and get 2-3 top players to come in and reinforce this squad and set the levels. Because at that point, you're helping everything. You can't honestly say that you take this squad that we've got this season and instead of playing Conference League, you're playing Champions League, and you'd say that we would be performing and we would be second or third in the league. I don't believe we would. I don't think we would be. I think we would have lost a few more games. Because the levels are the levels. The Conference League is the Conference League, let's be honest. But this has set us up nicely for next season. But next season, the summer, before that, especially playing Club World Cup 2, we got to go and get 2 or 3 nice top transfers. I'm not saying go and get Mbappe. Nice reinforcements, good quality buys. Bring them in, done. End of business. We don't need to go and get 85 signings again or start scouting everywhere again. We don't need to do that. So let's wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on that. Now, talking about what could potentially happen in the summer, I've mentioned them before, but let's have a look. Chelsea are monitoring Liam Delap as one of the options for the strike position in the summer. Enzo Maresca knows the player well, goes on to say. Chelsea consider internally Liam Delap a very good player, and we should not underestimate what Enzo Maresca said about him in public. He's considered very good modern striker. Delap could be one of the names for the summer for Chelsea, unlikely in January. Chelsea and other clubs want to see how he does in the second half of the season. And to be fair, this is fair. We'll see exactly how he finishes this season. Yeah, that's the most important thing. And I don't want him scoring against Chelsea, please, on Monday. Yeah, if he does that, then... I'm not going to say he won't. He might. Because our defense still has problems. Let's not pretend that we've sorted that out. We haven't, right? Defensively, we've still got issues. Liam Delap could score. I just hope he doesn't. But in terms of Liam Delap as a player, yeah, apparently he's a very decent rated prospect. Has been doing well, at least at championship level, in the Premier League for Ipswich with the limitations that there are in that team. I say limitations. Watch us lose 1-0 to Ipswich on Monday. Bloody, I hope not. We better win. But Liam Delap has been doing well, considering his environment and what he can actually do at Ipswich, right? There are other teams interested, apparently. Listen, we'll see exactly how he goes throughout the entire campaign. At the end of the season, we can get a better idea of what he's about, right? And then we can go from there. That's all I can really say on him. Because I agree with the fact that he does look like a decent modern striker. He does. He's not sloppy. This is what I like. The first thing that I look in a striker is, are you sloppy or not? And he's not sloppy. Doesn't look like someone that's very error prone. Seems decisive on and off the ball. Good modern striker. So, yeah, we'll see how he finishes the season. Let me know. What do you think on Liam Delap so far? I'd love to hear your opinion on it. I would preferably like for a striker, though, to go out and get a killer. But they're limited nowadays anyway. So we'll see what we can get. Here is Dan Sheldon of The Athletic. Chelsea sources have indicated to The Athletic that the shirt sponsor process is nearing its end. Their shirts will have a sponsor before the season ends. This tells me, right, that between the options that we've got the baseline of a deal being done. Now it just depends who. But it seems like there's enough interest there, and there's enough negotiation that's gone far enough to know that a deal will be done. Sometimes you can get to that level where you know, okay, now I've got this. Now it just depends who, but I've got this. What are we going to get though? What are we looking for? Here's what we're looking for. For the front of shirt sponsor, Chelsea is seeking around £60 million a year, which they believe is the going rate for the Premier League's elite clubs, especially those competing at the top end of the table. And you know, they're not wrong. On this, they're not wrong. And look, considering that we get Champions League football, considering that we're at the top end of the table, which is helping their cause right now because we are playing well, we have been getting results, we're in form, we are looking like we're going to get top four, it's looking good. This is where I think they have a very, very good bargaining chip. Negotiations now are a lot stronger than they were at the start of the season because of this point alone. We look likely to play Champions League football next season. So that's a very important point. A very important point. So to ask for that much money is logical. That's what Arsenal, I think, are making from Emirates. Man City with Etihad, I think, is more. But Man City have been Man City. So considering Champions League exposure, top end of the table, that would be absolutely correct. So if they pull this off, then fair play. Because the names that we've heard so far seems to be Qatar Airways or Riyadh Air. Like, those would be top sponsors, man. They've got enough bread. Let's just say that. They've got enough bread. So happy days. If they were to pull this off at that rate, that much money, brilliant business. Brilliant deal. So let's wait and see. Now, talking about Strasbourg earlier on, let's see what the manager, Liam Rosenior, has to say. Here's what he's had to say. Check this one out. This is going to be very interesting. Liam Rosenior on Milos Lukovic situation. Whatever the injury is, we usually say that for a player to be completely ready, he needs a period equivalent to his unavailability. Milos was absent for 3 months for sciatica in the knee. Do the math. Which means that he needs to be out for another 3 months. So the whole time out is going to be 6 months. The amount of time to recover after the injury is healed is double the rate of the time that it took for you to be out. Listen, if that's how things are running at Strasbourg, this is why I bring it up. Is this how things are running at Chelsea? Is this why when we expect a player back, he never comes back at the time that we expect? It always takes longer. Is this why? If a player's out for 2 weeks, we expect him to be back in the 3rd. He's always back in the 5th because it took another couple of weeks. Is this why? If a player's out for a month, add another month onto that. Oh yeah, now the player's available. Is this why? I'm curious as to know, is this a Strasbourg thing or is this a Bluco thing? I'm just asking. I don't know. And by the way, I hope he's all right. Sciatica in the knee. Bloody hell. That sounds... I know the sciatica, right? I've seen like what sciatica can do. Not for me, thank goodness. I don't have it. But those close to me, I've seen. Sciatica in the knee. That normally comes from the back, hip, the buttock area, down the leg. But the knee, sciatica in the knee, like, that's a very, very, very interesting injury. I got to be honest. How the hell has that happened is my question. I'm curious, has the sciatica nerve gone all the way down into the knee, and in the knee it's been trapped? Is that what's happened? Anyway, interesting one. Because it's the first time I'm hearing of that, sciatica in the knee. Sciatica normally happens just under the bum, hamstring area, side of the leg, normally there. But knee, I hope he's all right, basically. Other matters, before we end, we turn to Liverpool. This is interesting, but I've got a disclaimer. Trent Alexander-Arnold has informed Liverpool that he wants to leave the club to join Real Madrid. That's from the Mail. But, as much as we're looking at this and going, oh my God, and it might happen, the rumours come from Marca, if I'm not mistaken, Marca, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a nothing story at the moment. At the moment. It could be a story because we've known for a while that Real Madrid have wanted a right back, and we were talking about Reece James at one point, and then he was injured, and then it went to Trent, and we've not heard anything. But now we're hearing it could be. But to say that it's definitely done or anything, no chance. Absolutely no chance. No chance yet. So we'll see what happens there. Do you think Trent ends up at Real Madrid? Personally, I'll be honest, I think in the long run, yeah, he does. I don't think they turn to anyone else. But right now, no chance. He'll finish the season at Liverpool easily. Maybe in the summer. I reckon maybe in the summer. We'll see. Now, talking about players that will reach the summer, well, at Arsenal, it's not looking good. Here's why. Bukayo Saka has had surgery on his hamstring. And there he is from the hospital bed. His hamstring apparently had completely ruptured. And it seems like he is now going to be out for a minimum of 10 weeks. That's Saka done. It goes back to the point that I've mentioned on this video, not this video, but on this channel. For the last few days, you remember I was mentioning about English players, young English players getting just bad injuries, their bodies breaking down naturally, right? There's no impact injuries here. It's just muscles exploding. You know, Reece James, Mason Mount, now Saka. There's a list here developing of young English lads that are getting their legs blown to pieces, right? I ask, is the demand too high here? Is the demand too high? Whether it's coming from the amount of games or whether it's coming from the clubs, whether it's coming from the levels, whatever it is, whether it's coming from the hype that these players then have to, try and sustain, which I don't think helps. It all plays a part. But Saka's out for 10 weeks. Crazy. So, let me know your thoughts on that. Much appreciated. I will see all of you tomorrow for the preview, which will be out. Ipswich versus Chelsea. Make sure you guys are here. If there's anything else developing, you'll get a double upload, of course. Don't forget the socials as well. Links are all in the description, as well as the second channel. Make sure you guys are there too. Thank you all so much, and I will see all of you on the next one. See you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. Look after yourselves. Take care, and peace.